Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the wish list account, and that is right, guys. This is day 7. So in a week, I want to show you the progression. We are in chapter 16, so we pushed through 13, 14, 15. We are almost halfway through 16 at this point. That is 3 chapters already today. You can see we have 16,000 diamonds. That is right, guys. We have a lot of scrolls in here. We're going to do quite a bit of summons. Hopefully, we're going to get to the point. Now, also with chapter 16, that unlocked the Stargazer. That is right, guys. Again, sticking with the wish list that we have over there from in-season, we are going to be sticking to the Stargazer, and we are going to start with one single copy of Damia. That is the recommendation, and then we're going on to Liberta. So hopefully, fingers crossed, guys, within the bag, we can get some heroes. Now, we've also got a copy of Shamira, again, farming a couple different game modes. We got a couple heroes and a couple copies, a couple stones. Unfortunately, right now, we're literally one short of an elite stone, but that is okay, guys, because again, we have a lot of summons that are coming in here. Hopefully, within the Temple of Ascension, we can get lucky. And I'm hoping out of the summons that we can actually get a few copies of heroes. We're at the point where we have to start getting them up past that elite plus, actually to that legendary stage. Once we do get them to legendary, we're seeing and having the ability to take them past that that 120 mark and starting to build them out a little bit further. Let's go ahead, guys, and get into the summons. Again, the wish list. Again, looking at our wish list, we're going to build up the Graveborn. So all 5 of these until we have them ascended. That is going to be the focus, guys. So let's go ahead. See, hopefully we can get some copies of Ivan. Hopefully we can get a little bit of food in here for Damon. But that is quite a few in there to pull copies of. And there is Ivan, guys. Very nice. So that is another summon in there for Ivan. Also, we get some more emblems. Now, we're still working on building out Damon with those emblems. Remember, Damon is going to a +20 signature item. That is where we're getting them. So we do need some amplifying emblems as well to continue the builds in here. Now, looking at the rest of the factions, I don't have anyone short of 1 Wilder and 1 Graveborn hero that is at Legendary Plus. So again, we're going to have to build these out, and I'm hoping with the diamonds, maybe we're going to see an Awakened hero in here, guys. There is a copy of Scrag, which I know we've already pulled, I believe, 2 copies of Scrag at this point. But that is giving us, look at that, double heroes right there. There's another Elite Plus. That's what we're looking for, guys. We need more food for Damon once we get him to the point of being at Mythic Plus. Then, of course, we just need more copies of Damon at that point, which is where we're pulling them to, guys. There's another copy of Mishka. That will take a Mishka to Elite Plus, which again is going to be nice to see. We're getting pretty full here, guys. We are getting full. I've still been using Mishka, even though she was literally at Elite at this point. And again, still working very, very well. Just at Elite. So we do have 9 summons in here. I'm going to use the summons. And again, we're still kicking it in here for Graveborn, guys. There's a copy of Pharrell. 9 more. We might be able to pull. I'm hoping another Elite with these scrolls. We're going to save up our 2,700. We have done a lot. We're talking probably 500 heroes at this point that we've actually had the ability to summon in here. And there's an Elite, guys, which is Skarath. Skarath, we already got 1 copy of. Scrag, we got a couple copies of. Now, Stargazer, we have 25 cards, guys. Now, it has been kind of tried and true when we do the very first summon with the Stargazer that we do pull the hero that we're looking for, which, of course, we're getting 1 single copy of Damia. Boom, there's our first pull, and it is our copy of Damia. So again, it rings true with the very first summons that it looks like they do give you a copy. A lot of resources in here, guys. And then, of course, the second one that we're utilizing cards for is going in for Liberta. So we are going to build out Liberta as fast as possible. So the next 15 cards, we're going to go ahead and summon in here. If we get resources, great. If we get Graveborn cards, awesome. If we got a copy of Liberta, I will be super, super excited. But there's a second Graveborn card, guys, which is awesome. Now, again, we're saving the diamonds, and there's a copy. We got a copy of both. So that is awesome to see. I'm wondering the effectiveness of a support hero like this. Right now, I am still using Silas in my combinations, which is going to be interesting to see. Now, Temple of Time-wise, I have 10 cards. I'm going to use it for the resources we're going to get in here. Now, this is going to go in here, and we're going to be looking for the Awakened version of Athalia. Again, based on the tier list, based on utilities, this is what we're looking for. So this could just be resources in here, guys, which it is, but we got another card right there and a lot more resources. That is awesome to get the amount of resources that we did. And again, looking at games, this game being much easier when it comes to things that we never had in AFK Arena before. This gives us a copy of Baden. I think the other one was a copy of Oden, which again, we're moving and looking to build these up as high as possible. So another Mauler right there, which is Valero. Unfortunately, not one that we're going to be using. But again, I'm hoping we can build up Damon a little bit. And I'm wondering how Liberta and Demia are going to work early game. Now, we're also still looking to build out the Twisted Essence a little bit further. Pitmaster's Gift just gives us some more resources. Still looking to build out Joan as well. Again, a week in, I feel like this is very, very solid progression. Boom, more Essence out of there. We're already 11,000 Essence. We've also started farming some other game modes, as you can see with Dur's artifacts, making more progression in a bunch of different game modes. Little bit better gear, but even here, guys, we're at 7, 1, 2, and we're 5 short from getting them to 10. But that'll be awesome. This will be a huge increase in there, guys. And then again, we got Ivan. We got a couple more copies of Ivan. We have a couple more copies of Mishka. I actually swapped in, and I was using Hogan right here, so I did gear out Hogan a little bit. I'm gonna swap this back to Mishka. We also did level up Dur's artifact right there, which is really, really cool to see that we're making this much progression. So Fight of Fates, we cleaned out. The events, we cleaned out as well. But again, guys, I'm thinking, looking at the builds, let's go through the heroes that we have in here. Now, Lightbearer, unfortunately, we have Belinda. That is it. I'm going to save my food. Not going to use it for Belinda. Now, Scrag, I know Scrag requires a little bit of a build up, but again, in this scenario, I'm going to save it right now till I get actually 2 Elite Plus copies, which we do not have of any of these heroes at this point. Now, we did get some copies of Trishia, so we could build it out a little bit further. Of course, we have Orin built out, but I think I'm going to save it for food, and I'm going to take Orin to Mythic, guys. I think I'm still going to drive the force of Orin. But again, I know Trishia is a pretty high priority here with the build out, so I'm kind of on the fence because if I use some food for Trishia, I could take her up to legendary, but I could take Orin up, and I'm going to build Orin. Orin is on this list, guys, and I don't know if there's anything else. So once we go through there, yeah, once we get to the part we want, Naruko is a couple other ones. So after we ascended the first 5 Graveborn heroes, we're going to switch to Wilders with the faction scrolls. Save the shards and cores for Liberta. So again, that's going to be the engraving piece. Scarlet, if you desire. Popular is Scarlet first, then Damon, then Palmer. Well, unfortunately, with the builds, we have not been getting copies. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to build this out a little bit higher. So we're going to use Ira as our food, which is going to bring him up to legendary. Now I'm going to wait on the signature item, or that takes him up to mythic, but I'm going to wait on this signature item till we get Damon to 10. Then I'm going to move over to Orin. Then we're going to continue building out Orin just like we've seen before. Now in here, guys, again, we have double copies of Oden. We do have copies of Damon. We just need more food in here, which we're going to get out of the event we have going on right now. I should be able to get quite a bit more Graveborn food. And again, let me know in the comments, guys, looking at Shamira, looking at Torn, I'm looking at some of these older heroes that essentially I could use my copies of Sylvana with double copies of Shamira to actually build this up to get a legendary copy right there. And then, of course, we could feed Damon. Damon would go to Mythic Plus, and that would mean that we just need more copies of Damon. Let me know, guys. I'm not going to sacrifice it right now, but I definitely want to build that out a little bit further. Now, of course, within the Field of Stars, we've been building this out considerably, and we're almost to the point of unlocking this. Field of Stars, we've started getting a couple different stars in here. And of course, the Unions, guys, we've started to get permanent heroes within the Union, just based on who we've been kind of building out in different facets. Now, we didn't build Savius. We didn't build a couple other heroes. And honestly, we haven't gotten the copies of them. As much as I would like to push and build those out, guys, we have not seen a lot of copies of different heroes in here. So unfortunately, it's been a little bit more difficult. Now, Beast Ground, we do have the Drury Ball, 418 baits. That is right, guys, out of all the game modes, making it a little bit easier. So we're going to go in here and the pets, this is how I'm going to build them, guys. Now, Talisman, of course, some crowd control. We have the Wing Lion, which has a lot of utility. The Seal, which works by himself. We have 418. Boom. We're getting all of these beasts, guys. So especially when we're getting to multiple fights, we're going to have the ability to build them out. And we didn't get Not even a single copy of the other beasts in here. But again, looking in here, we'll just level some of these up. There we go. So at level 1 right there. And again, the Dreary Ball is kind of what we're looking at right now. I think we're going to be short to leveling that one up a little bit further. But starting to unlock and starting to build up those beast guys is huge. That is absolutely huge. I think it's going to be pretty easy, especially with both of these guys pushing through the rest of this chapter, even with Ivan being a little bit stronger, built out a little bit. Same with Mishka down there being built out just a little bit stronger. Now, of course, in here, almost got it built out. We're very, very close to adding 4 stars in there. But again, all heroes must be at 140. I gotta pull some of these higher. I gotta get some of these heroes built. I feel like if we get a couple more summons, which we have one more right there, but a couple more summons, a few more heroes, should be able to build them out, guys, which there is another copy of Orin. Very nice. And that should give us enough for Damon. There we go. That's the 5 we needed, guys. Now looking at our amplifying, we can build this up quite a bit. Boom, to 14. That is going to be awesome. And then, of course, Orin, we're going to unlock this one. Going to be a big, I mean, each stack of mushrooms, poisonous mushrooms, the enemy reduces the damage they deal by 5%. That's going to deal with some of the survivability issues that we do have within this hero. So that is awesome, guys. There's the plus 14. There is the unlock. 2 mythic heroes should be able to pull us through actually quite a bit. And again, looking at the things you get out of here, guys, the things you get out of the Solemn Vow, a couple more scrolls out of there, a couple more chests, I believe, as well, which again is going to allow us to stack up this essence. Now, once upon a time, the hero essence was the wall that every player actually dealt with. They got stuck in the wall. Now, also with the resonating crystal, guys, we're kind of stuck because of unlocking additional slots. So in here, I'm using Mishka, I'm using Ivan. These I'm going to drop out because we've gotten to the point, guys, that we can run, and we do run the faction tower. That is one of the very big things, guys. We just literally unlocked the faction tower. I don't even have enough heroes in here to start running the faction tower. I'm not strong enough. I can't run the tower at all within the faction tower. Now, also, guys, I unlocked this voyage. So I kind of played around with the Fantastic Beast, but look at the loot you get in here, guys. If I can go through here and grind this out a little bit on every single avenue that we have going through here, this is just going to be red chests, and it is going to be time emblems as well as Stargazer cards for loot like crazy. And again, going back to the original one, guys, is the game much easier to get through? I'm going to grind some of these out. I know I don't have a ton of the heroes, but we're still making a lot of progression in the game mode. Definitely want to take Damon up a little bit higher, get a couple more copies to actually build him out. We got copies of Ivan. We can build him out a little bit. We have copies of Oden, the exact same, guys. We just need food here, which again, we've been grinding out of the event we have going on with the Lost Sigils right now, and grinding out the food. I've actually used it all for food at this point to get and build up the Graveborns. I could go in for some of the faction emblems, or some of the amplifying emblems and the primordial emblems. But overall, guys, I could go in for the beast food as well. But I want to build the heroes. I really want to focus on, and I really do want to build the heroes out first. Flight of Fates is another place, guys, that we actually went in here. We finished out all of the challenge quests to pick up some Stargazer scrolls, which means that we could get actually a couple more heroes in here. We have a couple more stones or a couple more scrolls right here. More food, guys. More food. And again, we haven't seen an awakened hero at this point. I'm hoping that we can farm some out of here. There's another copy of Orin. He's another one, guys, where we already have him built up to Mythic. We have 2 copies there. We need 2 copies of Orin. And then, of course, a little bit of food, and we can take him to Ascended. We can have an Ascended Orin running with Damon. Really, really strong hero, guys. Building him out a little bit further. Then, of course, look at this stack. I want to see how Demia performs. I want to see how Liberta performs. And again, looking at the support running in there with Ivan, I feel like they're going to be 2 very, very strong heroes. And again, all of my Stargazer scrolls are going to be put right into building out Liberta. As we continue through here, as we start leveling up a little bit further, unlocking more of that resonating crystal will give us the ability to make more progression through a couple different game modes. But again, looking at the double combination in here, I'm thinking with both of these mythic and then picking up Mishka as well, I think we're going to do pretty well in here. I know Mishka's probably going to die in an instant, but even there, guys. So Damon has the buff. Orin has the survivability in here. I feel like it might just take a little bit of time. The beasts in here are very strong. But again, Damon up there fighting totems by himself. But look at the beasts, guys. The beasts are literally just taking out different targets. Boom, almost got him down. Can we get Savius down? There we go. We do. So again, this is going to be interesting to see how much we can technically farm in here. And then getting a lot of these heroes built out a little bit further. Have a ton of game modes to go through as well. Super stoked with the wishlist account, guys. And let's actually change this. You know what? I'm going to go in here. Who do we want to put in here? I'm thinking maybe Ivan. You know what? I'm going to drop Ivan in here. Or you know what? I'm going to put Liberta. Just because we were lucky enough to pull that copy, guys. So there we go. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Kind of crazy with the summons in here. And as always, thank you guys for watching.